3, turn. Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All You Can Geek Moviecast, episode 475. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gast, joined by Mike Sneedy.
What's up?
And Tony Korkanakis.
Hello.
Welcome, guys. Welcome, listeners. Welcome, viewers, to 475 of the Moviecast. Corey's away. He'll be back soon, we hope, and he'll be joining us next week. But until then, he's away on family business. So it's just us tonight. We've got a little bit of movie news here. We've got the box office, what we've been up to. I can kick us off with that. Essentially, it's the Star Wars prep for me. So I watched Mandalorian episode 4, which did you catch up on that yet, Tony? Did you watch it? Okay.
Yep.
This was the episode we've been basically talking about. The show is like forever. Yeah. I was like, oh, they did it. 4 episodes in. Here's the 7 Samurai episode.
Yep.
So, but I was like, oh, that's funny. And I knew you were due to watch it soon. So I'm like, he's probably watching it soon. I'm like, it's just funny we got this episode.
Yeah.
So you now understand the Baby Yoda memes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And as I'm watching that episode, I'm like, there are more memes unfolding just from this episode.
Yeah.
As I was watching it.
It's so funny. Like every episode, it's just new screen caps and stuff like that. It's really funny because actually Disney didn't do Baby Yoda merch early, or the child, whatever, because they didn't want it leaking and spoiling the series. So
yeah.
In a way, I think that's pretty cool that they're like, you know what, let's miss out the holidays because like this should be a surprise and stuff like that.
In a way though, it reminds me of A New Hope, where they didn't have any toys ready for how popular it was. It's very like reminiscent of that.
Yeah.
So it's crazy to think about it that way. But I saw someone post like that. I'm like, what kind of is? I know they were trying to. It was more like they wanted to keep it a secret, but now they're like scrambling to get that stuff out as quick as possible. So wow. Mike, I'll continue what I've been up to. Sorry, I've also watched. You can talk more about Mandalorian when you get up there, Tony. But I've been I watched. So basically, what I'm doing now is I'm rewatching Star Wars before we get to the Rise of Skywalker. So my goal this time is to watch it a little differently because I have so many movies available. So I actually started with Rogue One, and went. I mean, literally yesterday, right into A New Hope.
Is it any better this time, Rogue One?
What's that?
Is it any better this time?
Yeah, it is a little better because my expectations are down. So it's like, I know what I'm going to get. So it's just like, I actually liked it. The special effects, the battles were great in that. I forgot how good the battles were in that movie. The rest of it wasn't. They're really very forgettable characters. That's the biggest problem with that movie. I think it was because we knew that these people weren't going to make it.
Yeah.
But I watched that, and then I watched A New Hope, which, oh my God, it's still amazing how good that movie is. While it's not the best Star Wars movie in my opinion, it's still like second best.
It's incredible for world building and just like it's really an accomplishment on what they did in like the 2.5 hours that movie is. 2 hours. I think it was 2 hours. Yeah, 2 hours, something like that. So, it's just so incredible.
And
like the thing is, I love how like they don't spend too much time on like the logics or the science of a lot of it. They're just like, oh, you just gotta roll with this. Like this. Yeah. This is what it's like.
Like, I think that's kind of what helps with Rogue One. Watching that first, they didn't even bother with that stuff either in that movie. Like there was no logic with it, like the Force and stuff. It was more if you watch it this order, you're like, you have no idea what this Force stuff is. And so my goal is to actually watch this. I'm watching it Rogue One, A New Hope, Empire, and then I'm going back in time. I'm going to do episodes 2 and 3 and Solo in that order. And then I'm going to watch Return of the Jedi, and then 7 and 8.
You're missing the impact of Solo without watching episode 1.
Do you think I should watch episode 1 then? Maybe I should. I know it's so useless, but I do like the fights in that, like the actual the Duel of the Fates is like.
I find the episode 2 more skippable than episode 1, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. So maybe I'll add it. You're right though. I wanted to add Solo into this mix because it makes it more like a flashback for him too for Return of the Jedi, because he just gets frozen and then in Empire. And then you go back and you watch 2 and 3 and then Solo.
I still need to watch Solo.
So this is kind of like Machete style that Corey always talks about, but with Solo added in Rogue One. But maybe I can throw in episode 1, I guess. I don't know. I wasn't planning on watching episode 1.
No, just watch the fan cut.
Yeah, that might work.
Didn't they have like a super fan cut where it does 1 through 3 but like condensed?
I could probably do that.
Am I making that up?
That's probably good.
I could have sworn
if it doesn't exist, it should exist.
I'm sure it does.
If it doesn't exist, it should exist. So, yeah, I don't know. That's what I'm going to be doing. So that's my.
Because there are parts of 1 and 2 that I like, but
to me,
it's not worth watching the whole thing just to get through that.
Yeah, I think. I mean, the lightsaber fights at the end for episode 1 was so good. Two was.
I like the 2v1, the 2v1, and seeing Yoda fight for the first time.
That was in 2. And that's what we got in 2. Yeah, and that's why I liked certain moments in 2. And then 3 was fine. And then now you go back to Return of the Jedi, and then you go Force Awakens and Last Jedi. Before we get to Rise, my goal is to get to that before the 19th. So I got time, plenty of time.
We should plan a trip to the Star Wars thing next year.
The event?
What?
No. Just like the park
in Orlando.
Yeah.
Orlando. Oof. That's a trek. I mean, I'd do it. I want to go so badly.
Well, we could combine it with Disney, right?
Oh yeah, we'd have to. I know that. I love how I'm saying this not for a 7-year-old that I have in the house. For me.
No, for you. No, this is just the boys right now. It's just us. Any significant others or children.
Yeah, it's a guy's thing.
That's a
yeah.
It's an add-on. It's an add-on.
I think. No, I mean, I would like to go. I mean, it's been so long since I've been even just like to Disney. I haven't been to Hogwarts at all. I haven't been to. There's so many things in Orlando that I want to go to. So I would do it.
Yeah, my friend and her boyfriend just went, and he got like a custom-made lightsaber while he's down there, and I was like,
what was that? What's that? Do you know what that's at the back? Do you know?
I think it's like 200.
Well, that's not that bad.
It's just bad. I mean, for completely like customizing like every aspect of it. I think
it's not that bad. All right, cool. And I'm trying to think of like, what else. I mean, I watched a bunch of like more Disney Plus stuff. Oh, I watched Lady and the Tramp.
The live action.
The live action.
Oh my.
How was it? All right.
Yeah. It's just like the movie.
Did the dogs talk?
Yeah, they talk.
Oh.
What's weird is they kind of mix the two of like they use like actual dogs and then they use CG with them. So it was kind of a weird jump. You're like, ooh, that's a little jarring right there. Yeah. It actually looks good for like a movie that was made to Disney Plus. Now I'm talking about Mandalorian as well, but like it looks like it's a real movie. Like CG is great, but it's still a little jarring. Just like watching Rogue One and seeing Grand Moff Tarkin, the actor's dead, so they had him CG'd in that movie, and it was just still like, yeah, there's something not right about this. So I watched that, and let's see. Oh, Hulu's got Married with Children on it now. I didn't know it was on there, so I've been watching tons of that.
I didn't know that either. That's crazy.
I used to love that show, so I watched a ton of that, and but. Anyways, that's it for what I've been watching. Tony, you watched The Mandalorian, so what are you thinking?
Yeah, I really like Mandalorian. To me, this is what the Boba Fett character should have been, or just like this enigmatic, badass character that actually gets shit done rather than somebody who shows up and does nothing.
I think they've once and for all proven that Boba Fett is bullshit and he was not a Mandalorian. I think they finally just proved this in this show.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like. He's a fucking poser.
That's all they basically.
Just wore the fucking armor.
The whole reason why this whole like race or group of people exists is the worst one, or doesn't count. Okay, it's fine.
It is. Like you can't. Like people just liked it because he looked badass, and then he did nothing in the movie. So they're like, oh, let's come up with some bullshit backstory to make them like relevant. Yeah, they were a race called the Mandalorians, and this is their armor. Yeah, okay, let's just roll with it. There you go.
Yeah.
Anyway, the show is really good. It's right, like you said, Jim. It's like movie quality. Like, yeah, when I watch it, I don't feel like it's a TV series. Like maybe some of the CGI, but like nothing that's been like so blatantly obvious. Like it's nothing like not I'm knocking like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or like Flash and Arrow, but like you could. They had to work within a budget. Mm-hmm. But this, I feel like they're going all out, obviously. So I think the character's cool. Baby Yoda, obviously, is just a delight and a treasure. Like, I'm just waiting for all the hijinks to ensue as the episode unfolds. I really liked how they introduced the IG bounty hunter droid. I don't think it was but like that was cool.
I forgot about that, yeah.
Again, it was just one of those things in Empire where like, oh, we just need to show off these bounty hunters, and like you have a droid one. And he's like, okay, it's like, what's he gonna do? He looks like a shitty Terminator by today's standards. But I think they made him, look pretty badass when he was fighting and stuff like that. So
and that's some nice comic relief with his character too.
Mm-hmm. So. Yeah. But yeah, the series is pretty good. I'm excited to watch it every week now. So yeah, I feel like waiting the halfway point was kind of good because I was able to kind of just like binge a little bit of it, just in one go and then get it there.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. I mean, now the next one, I think it'll be done. I think I'm only 8 episodes. So I think the next one you do, it'll be done. So,
but other than that, I've been grinding on Pokemon for some fucking shiny assholes. So it's something that's really boring because you're just like breeding them and hatching the eggs.
Right.
It's kind of, God, I don't know why I do this to myself. But I, played on like just portable mode and I just put Simpsons on, so I'm binging through old school Simpsons.
Oh, I started that last night.
That show is still so funny.
It is
by today's standards. Like some of those jokes are classic.
Rewatching season 1, I realized I really don't like season 1 of The Simpsons though. I like where season 2 is really where it finds its stride.
Season 1 of pretty much every show is
season 1. Yeah, season 1 was rough because I felt like they were trying to be a little bit too serious. Yeah, and people weren't ready for that from a cartoon. And I think season 2 is when they started to find that balance of like, comedic humor, whatever you want to call it, but also like some like low key like Family Matters type shit, stuff like that. And then as the series progressed, it just became more and more ridiculous. And I think I just finished the episode where Marge gets breast implants. I'm like, oh my God, like, yeah.
I don't remember some of these episodes. I really don't.
Me neither. I'm like, what? I was like, what year did this come out? And I'm like,
I remember
like a while ago.
Yeah, I made this on like I made VHS mixtapes for this when I was when I was younger, because there wasn't CDs, there was nothing like that. So I would record them on TV and then like have a bunch of episodes so I can rewatch them over and over again.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I would do as a kid, and I would even cut the commercials out, like really make a.
Yeah.
I had like a full 8-hour.
That was an art form. That was an art form because I remembered doing the same thing for shows like Power Rangers or something like that.
Yep.
And I would feel like such like an artist. I would feel like an artist when I'm like, look, commercials like, pause it, pause the recording. I'm like, unpause the recording, stuff like that.
People would borrow my tapes,
to copy them and stuff.
Yeah, that, and they would, they would, they would borrow them just to watch them because I'd have like 6 volumes of them, and they could just watch. I'd loan out to my friends, like, hey, here, this is this one, and so because I would do that, like I would make mixtapes constantly. So, yeah.
Kids these days will never know that.
Nope, not at all. So, all right, Mike, what have you been watching? Anything?
Just the 4th episode of Mandalorian. Maybe the 3rd since the last time I was here. And, same thing. It's good.
Yeah.
I don't really know. There's not much else to say. It's just good, I guess.
I'm interested to see, like, where they want to take this because, one of my questions, or not questions, but my comments about the whole Star Wars universe is, like, everything has to play into each other and, like, it seems pretty on the point that they want to tie this in with Yoda, right? The child.
Will you guys, with your, commitment to breaking off everything that's ever happened before from Star Wars,
what?
Will you be pissed off if they make this like, directly, not just Yoda's race, just directly related to Yoda? Well, you think that's lame?
Why would you want them to? No, I think that's lame.
Yeah, I think that's lame.
Can we get away from the family? We talked about this in Force Awakens.
I know, and I disagreed with you guys, but you guys.
Why does everybody in the galaxy have to be related to somebody else in the galaxy?
Because that's what makes us know about it or care.
Fuck that. Make this a new, his race, because there's other people in his race. Make them really force.
There was one we've seen so far.
Yeah, Ahsoka wasn't related to anybody, and she's the best original character outside of movies.
How cool would this be?
Better than most movie characters, too. Actually.
If the Mandalorian brings Baby Yoda to Ahsoka for help, it could happen.
When does this take place?
It's 5 years after Return of the Jedi, so it's pretty late. She'd be pretty old.
Is she still around?
Her race, who knows how long they live?
That also. No, people are surprised by the Force still at this point. Like no one.
Oh yeah,
people haven't heard of it yet.
I like how
everywhere.
How is this child able to use the Force? I'm like, Really? Are you new to this fucking franchise?
Well, to be fair, at this time there was only there were no Jedi yet. Remember, it was just Darth Vader had killed them all off. This is 5 years after that happened, so there's really no Jedi yet.
I guess.
So you're talking about generations with no Jedi.
But we have the Force Awakens talking Han Solo and Luke are galaxy-wide celebrities for what they did 5 years earlier. So I don't. There's something a little off with that, but maybe it's just the backwoods. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, it's true.
Was he on Tatooine though in the one episode with the Jawas?
Was
that supposed to be Tatooine?
You would think so. It's all the same type of shit.
He didn't explicitly say it, so I wasn't sure.
Unless we're getting Outer World style enemies here, where they're all the Jawas on multiple planets
with the same exact vehicle.
Well, humans do it. Why can't Jawas?
Yeah, you're right. They could travel. There's space travel. You're right. They could colonize another planet. So
what other humans are there in the galaxy?
Humans all over the Star Wars galaxy.
Oh no, I meant in real life.
Yes, I'm sure we can find some.
Yeah, I mean that'd be interesting, but yeah, no, I'm excited. I'm just wondering if they're trying to contain this on its own, like its own just story, or like we were just talking about, like will they try to connect it to a bigger universe, or are they trying to set up for the next trilogy? Who knows? Maybe the child will be in the movie. Maybe
it'll be in Rise of Skywalker.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Who knows? We'll see.
I mean, but the thing is, by the time that movie comes out, this won't be done, will it? No, because it won't be. That's the problem. It won't be done.
That's interesting timing. That's really interesting timing. You think they would have?
Yeah. That means it can't coincide with Rise of Skywalker. It can't. There can be nothing in that from this. Whether this is another world building character for them, that's different. But
it's still like 20 years later anyway.
No, but I'm just saying, we're not gonna have a finale, to know what. We're not gonna get any information about Yoda for the rest of Baby Yoda for the rest of the season. There's no way we get anything until the last episode. Then they're gonna give us tidbit for next season.
So, question: do you guys think that Baby Yoda, aka the child, was inspired at all by Baby Groot?
Oh. Yeah, it could be a little bit of that. I could see that. Yeah.
I think he's more inspired by Furbies or Gremlins.
I don't know. I just love.
I meant the concept.
I don't know. I don't.
Not looks. I meant the concept. I was like, let's take this, beloved character and make a baby version of him, and they could do baby cute things.
Yeah. I mean that's plausible. I mean that. Yeah, it's true. I'm looking for this article right now while we're talking. Did you guys see the article I posted about Werner Herzog? The old man Imperial that was hiring the Mandalorian to go get this Baby Yoda, the original guy.
He said.
Werner. Yeah. So apparently he was in the scene with Jon Favreau was there and everybody was on set, and they're he filmed the scene with the Baby Yoda puppet next to him, and he nailed the sequence. Everybody loved it, and then they're okay, let's film another one with this stand-in, and he's like, well, what's this for? And they're like, well, this is in case we don't like the way it looks, and so we can just CGI in the Baby Yoda. Mm-hmm. And he's like, you people are cowards. Stick with the puppet. And that's all he said to them, and they're all like, okay.
That's what's his name? What's the actor's name?
Werner
Herzog. That's what
he's from Predator, right?
Yeah, I think
is that what he's from? Yeah,
I've
seen him so many times. I've seen
he's a black guy that comes up and does the massive muscle handshake with Arnold, right?
Is that him, really?
No, I don't think that was him.
I don't think that was him.
Are you sure?
He's he's a very famous actor. He's been in a lot of stuff, but I don't get a look at that.
Wasn't it no, it's the other guy in The Mandalorian who was that? Wasn't it the Carl Weathers guy, Apollo Creed?
That was Carl. Yeah, it was Apollo Creed, wasn't it?
Wasn't he in Predator with a big handshake?
No, Carl Weathers. I'm sorry. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Werner Herzog. Sorry, I got mixed up with the thing.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what I've seen Werner Herzog in so many things. I'm like, wasn't he Bill and Ted's? He was Bill and Ted Excellent Adventure, wasn't he?
Probably. I mean, I've heard his name before. He's been in many things. So that's why when he tells people,
he's
not be cowardly, they'll listen.
He said the exact quote is when he found out what they're going to do, he's like, "You are cowards. Leave it." That's exactly what he said. That's a quote. So I posted that on my Facebook. But man, I read that. I'm like,
that said, there's obviously some CGI used here and there for him too.
Sure. Yeah,
like
there still will be.
When he's like walking around and stuff.
Yeah. So I just like, it's funny. He was in The Simpsons, of course. I'm trying to look up a Jack Reacher. Let's see. I'm flipping through old movies for him. Now, dead air. Sorry, everybody.
No problem.
I'm trying to get like the main thing he was in. Did he play? Oh, he was uncredited there.
He is known for nothing.
Not much. Yeah, all artsy stuff.
He was in Jack Reacher.
Yeah, I thought he was in like. I really thought he was in Bill and Ted, but it must have been the guy that looks just like him.
He directs some stuff too.
So, anyways,
whatever.
But great show. Anyways, Mike, anything else?
That's really it. I mean, the Santa Claus was on. I actually threw that on, so
yeah. I still want to watch. I want to see Noelle with Anna Kendrick in it.
Yeah, she's gonna watch that too. Santa Claus. By the way, the Santa Claus has some of like the worst like special effects. Like, I don't even remember how bad it was. Like now, it's like holy crap! They that's a finished product. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm looking up this Frozen 2 information. I never looked it up before. Sorry. I meant to have this information before, but we had the box office with, number one being Frozen 2, which was no shock, but a great hold. I mean, obviously great hold. It did 130 last week, and it did 85.3 million this week. The drop off is its second best hold ever in film history. And obviously we knew it was going to hold pretty well with the holiday weekend. I'm just trying to see where it was going to end up. It gets another free run this week. Mm-hmm. There's nothing.
What opens? Nothing. Yeah. I'm not familiar with any of these things that I see listed.
They're tracking this. So they're tracking this for a 54% drop if it follows Wreck-It Ralph, which it is so far in the dailies. So it'll be a 54% drop next week, which would be what, 40 million. So that'll put it over 250 domestic. That's impressive.
Not too bad.
Yeah, I don't know where it's going to be. Okay, now Frozen 2 China box office near 100 million. I don't know. I don't know where this is going to be. I don't know. It's at 288. That's right. It's at 288 already domestic. Sorry, I'm wrong. Those are just 2 opening weekends, but 3 opening weekends. But it's at 288 already domestic. I don't have like a projection, but I guess 500 million still on the table domestic for Frozen. So that's pretty impressive. We'll get more for that next week. Knives Out is number 2 at 27.1 million. And now that's an interesting movie because all I saw along social media was how good that movie was. I don't know if you guys saw anybody tweeting about that or on Facebook, but everybody I saw was tweeting about this, and they loved it.
Yeah, I've heard someone say it too, but
it's at 97% on Rotten.
Wow.
Yeah, and I've heard very good things before that came out. I was like, holy shit! Like it's supposed to be a very, very good movie. It's got Mike's favorite actor in it, Daniel Craig.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't he in that? He's in that. Right? I hope he's in that. Maybe I'm wrong. Ford versus Ferrari is number 3 at 13.3 million, but I really think it's got Daniel Craig, right? Yeah, Daniel Craig and Chris Evans. Great combo. A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood is 11.8 million, tied with Queen and Slim. So that's your top 5. Like I said, nothing opening this week. The week after, I think, is Jumanji. Yep, that's Jumanji. So that's, I think, when will be when Frozen loses the top. Jumanji is like that could do really well. I have no idea where that movie's going to fall because of how good the last one overperformed.
I don't think it's going to do as well as the last one.
Oh, maybe not. But
I feel like it's very soon. Like, I mean, I know the last one was a big hit, but is anyone really jonesing for more Jumanji right now?
I am. My girlfriend is psyched to go see this because we saw that original and it was so fun to watch.
Yeah, I actually think this is coming out great timing because, I think we're talking about, I forget if it was this year or last year, but like sequels taking way too long. Like Incredibles 2, obviously that was egregious. Lego Movie 2.
Animated movies just do that, though.
Yeah. But I mean, this is
like 2 years later, I think.
Yeah, but I mean, we're getting Star Wars movies every 2 years, right?
Yeah. Well, I think we get 3-year break for Star Wars here. So.
Well, yeah.
Whatever.
I think it's a good time for this movie. I agree. I really do. So we'll see. We'll see what it does. All right, let's get into some quick news here. We've got, let's see. Let me get it opened. Not much going on. It's the end of the year, so it's a little slower. But we have the confirmation that Birds of Prey and the Suicide Squad sequel will be rated R from Warner Brothers, confirming what we talked about, I think, last week, right? About them going darker. WB banking on this darker R-rated stuff. Yeah.
Backtrack.
Not surprised. Like, I think that's going to be their niche to get that audience. I think that's what they have to embrace. They want, they have to.
They need to embrace the darkness.
They need to do something. No, I mean, listen, because it's dark doesn't mean it has to be dark. Just because it's, if that makes it, it's like the bad guy thing.
Just because you're dark doesn't mean you need to be dark.
Yeah. So, it matters what their color palette is. How about that? I'll say that. It needs to be brighter. It needs to be. I need to be able to see the movie. You know what I mean? Like, that has to happen. I don't want to see washed out colors. I want to see an actual, I want to see a superhero movie, but, we'll see. I mean, these movies aren't based a lot on superheroes anyways, these two movies. So it's, these are vigilantes / villains, but, we'll see.
I mean, I don't even care too much about either of them. Like, I have a passing interest in Suicide Squad 2. I have no interest in Birds of Prey.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how it gets on reviews for me. I agree with you, Mike. I think I have a passing interest in Suicide Squad. I might go see that one, but I don't see myself wanting to see Birds of Prey at all. Depends on the reviews.
I mean, I don't know what the aesthetic it's like ugly 70s chic or something. Like, I don't know what they're going for, but I just really hate the look of all the promotion for Birds of Prey.
Yeah. So, and then I put this last bit of news. I was tying this in with my superhero talk, Mike. I had to put this on here for Robert Pattinson, talking about Batman is not a superhero now. Yeah. Forget the hero part. He's not a superhero. Which you could argue he's not. He's kind of.
I think I remember. Yeah, that's what we said in first grade. Yes, first grade. I remember talking with kids about that. It's like, oh, Batman's not a superhero. He's a hero because he doesn't have powers. Because that was real important.
Mm-hmm. Being rich is a superpower.
There you go. That was stated on the other side.
Only an equip in Justice League.
Yeah. So his exact quote is, "It doesn't count. You need to have magical powers to be a superhero."
So he's right at the first grade understanding of this character.
I don't know at this point. Is he trolling everybody right now? Is that what he's doing? I don't know. This just seems very controversial for him to be stirring up for Batman, not being a hero, not being a superhero.
Do you also hear the rumors that he's having trouble bulking up for it?
No, I'm not surprised about that. He doesn't.
I don't want him to bulk up though. I get it, but I'd rather just have him be toned, if that makes sense.
He's if they're gonna do an earlier, younger Batman, he could be a smaller Batman.
Right. He doesn't need to be gigantic. Don't get me wrong. It was cool seeing Ben Affleck, even though I'm not a fan of him, being just jacked up. And even with what's his name, guy before him,
Christian Bale.
Yeah, Christian Bale. Thanks. I'd like to see a slightly different take, especially if it's going to be a younger Batman. I don't need him to be this, world class bodybuilder type, shredded. It's okay, it's kind of weird, but yeah, I don't know. This is me.
I don't need him to be huge, but I would like it to seem like it's someone who works on his physicality all the time, because I kind of I think the obsessive nature of Batman just being a perfectionist is part of what his character.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on when the movie's going to take place. If it's year one or something like that, I could see.
I guess so. We're saying he's a younger Batman, but this guy Pattinson's older than me by a month or two. He's not super young. He's 33, 34. So.
Well, you still have to have the genes for it. I mean, you could take, protein and performance enhancing supplements.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he's a vegan or something, because Toby. No, I'm serious.
No, I did not expect that comment.
I was shocked by that, but
I'm googling it, by the way.
No, because there's a lot of celebrities now who are going that route, and then they come across something like this. Like, I think Tobey Maguire was, and he had.
Wow. Actually, I googled it.
It's got to be there. It's a big.
Robert Pattinson is non-vegetarian. No, Robert Pattinson is not vegetarian because he loves to eat non.
Yeah, you're gonna find a bunch of conflicting stuff too, because
I'm sure
likes to claim celebrities falsely too. But I don't know. When I hear like someone's having trouble bulking up, like I kind of think that way a little bit.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's also just body framework. I mean, sometimes your body can't.
There's a website called Vegetarian Star. It's about celebrity vegetarians. What the fuck?
Oh, of course.
Okay, you're going down a rabbit hole, Tony. Get out.
Abort.
Here.
But no, I mean, obviously it's just frame types too. Sometimes a frame just can't support that much. You just can't get that big, and it doesn't matter at that point. It's a matter of like they stuffed Zachary Levi his outfit for Shazam.
He looks stupid.
No, but that was the point. They embraced that.
I guess. But he also, got decent. I guess it's different with Spider-Man, but Tobey Maguire.
That does remind me, guys. Did you pick up any movies on the Black Friday craziness?
No.
So I picked up Shazam, and that's why it reminded me. And I got Venom, and I also got Glass. Finally,
those are
for $5.
2.5 movies I wanted to watch and never did.
Yeah, I have Glass for $5.
I'm going to because
Venom was $9, and Shazam was $6. So
I added something in my cart, but then I was like, no. There's so much content I have access to between Hulu, Amazon, Netflix, and now Disney Plus. I'm like, there's no reason for me to own anything these days.
I'm a little bummed. I did. Last week I was talking about that speaker, and I ended up not getting it. What happened was timing wise, our vacuum broke here. So we ended up getting a Dyson because that was what was on sale.
Kind of need that more than a.
Yeah, I know. A vacuum went. I'm like, fuck. So there goes the sound bar. But man, I gotta say though, I'm a little bummed with this Dyson so far. They're not so good. They're very cheap feeling.
I thought Dysons weren't they the best?
They're supposed to be, but I'll tell you, I can't put it on small carpets because it actually lifts it up off the ground and gets clogged in the Dyson. And I never had that problem with my old Sharp.
Huh.
So not like a little area rug, it can't vacuum that really. And the battery lasts. If you're on max suction, it lasts for 7 minutes.
I love max suction.
Yeah, 7 minutes with that.
It's the only type of suction.
Thank God I got a small apartment here. But other than that, it picks up really well, but it feels very cheap. I'm very surprised. I'm gonna give it a because I can't review the soundbar, but I'm gonna give you guys all a rundown of the Dyson vacuum, and I'm kind of bummed by it. And I've heard bad feedback about them recently. I've heard they've gone a little bit downhill in their quality, and I'm a little bit like, yeah, you know what? I can see it. It feels very cheap. It's all plasticky. It's very light plastic. It feels kind of flimsy.
Does it want to be light though?
It's trying to be light. It's not light. It feels light. Like it feels cheap plastic. Like it. It's something. It's not light. It's like 7 pounds on your hand, which if you're vacuuming for the entire time, that's pretty heavy on your hand. And then it just feels like cheap plastic, like light cheap plastic. I don't know. It's just weird. So not very happy with it so far, but I did like the fact that you don't have to plug it in as battery operated. So like we had a spill earlier and just went and grabbed it and we're done. There's no, I got to go plug the vacuum in. I got to go, what I mean? It is nice to have those cordless vacuums. I got to say that. So,
dude, I just Googled it and there's a Dyson V8 absolute cordless.
That's the one I got.
The $500 model?
I got it for $250. That's why we did it. That's why we did it. I was like, it was the same price as my sound bar. I'm like, well, the sound bar is going back.
Holy
and I need a vacuum.
Shit.
Yeah, I got it for $250. And it doesn't feel great. It doesn't feel like $500. And I know what you're saying. That's why I know I only paid $249, but I know it's a $500 vacuum too. So
there's this other one called the Dyson Torque.
Yeah, that shit's expensive. So
yeah,
that one was $500 on sale. But yeah, these you get into a whole other world with these vacuums.
Oh, we were there. We're in a whole other world. That
let's get out of it.
The vacuum review section of the podcast.
It's the first time we ever had a vacuum review on All You Can Geek. I hope you're all happy you heard that. But anyways, let's get back to the Justice League and DC and stuff. Actually, let's not. Let's go in there. We'll finish up with MCU. So the Justice League, the Snyder Cut we've talked about before, and apparently now the more and more people are talking about what they've seen from it, and I guess the VFX that are not, there's unfinished effects in that movie, obviously, but the stuff that's finished looks way better than the movie, from what I understand, because obviously we're not CGIing out Superman's mustache in this movie, and that, I wonder how much better it would be just to have that better CGI in this movie. Would that make it much better? If it wasn't as jarring, like to not fit, because apparently they also didn't like Batman's goggles, so they cut them out with CG.
They cut them out or put them on?
There's nothing you could do to save this movie. There's nothing.
I understand that, but apparently Batman had goggles most of this movie, and then when they redid it, like Joss when he did it again,
okay,
he just CGI'd out the goggles.
All right. Well, I mean, it still wouldn't change anything I felt about the movie.
I don't know why the goggles are there to begin with.
I don't know either, but
I mean, I wasn't a fan of them either, to be honest. Since we didn't know this, then yeah, that was a good move, I guess. Because fuck the goggles. But again, the movie needed to be not so rushed, and I don't know if the effects have much to do with that, other than the end effects looked rushed.
They did. They definitely did. So. All right. What else? So that was okay. So then we have Marvel. This article was interesting because I came to the realization as well that the only original Avenger coming back for sure is Thor.
Yeah, I think we speculated on that.
I mean, that's it. The only one that we know is getting a movie.
Hulk's a little bit of a gray area, but Thor, yeah, we could see some more of him for sure. I don't know what that you're gonna get a lot of, off-screen explanations for whatever Hulk's doing, I'm sure, going forward.
I feel like Hulk is going to be more of a TV series thing. Because I think, aren't they moving towards She-Hulk? Like, I thought they...
yeah. Yeah, is he going to be in that, though?
Oh, he has to be in it if they're going to do She-Hulk.
Okay.
I think it'd feel really weird if they did She-Hulk and didn't have him in it.
Yeah, that's true. True. Good point.
Plus, I think if they put him in TV, they could actually use Mark Ruffalo because they can't do a Hulk standalone because of the rights. But maybe TV shows are fair game.
They could do that. I mean, I don't know what the that's all wording of the contract.
Yeah, it's speculation on my end for that.
Yeah. So. Okay. Interesting. Yeah. So we have. Let's see. That's pretty much it on news. So that's pretty much it for this podcast. Thanks for viewing. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. You can write us podcast at allyoucangeek.net. You can follow us on Twitter, allyoucangeek. You can like us on Facebook. If you're watching this on YouTube, we appreciate you, and hit that subscribe button. We appreciate that as well. Tune in next week. We will work on we'll get a topic back for you guys. We'll do like a top list maybe. We're due for some top lists. We haven't done that in a while. So we'll get that together and see you guys next week. Thanks a lot. You want to hit your recording off and then back on?